Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of A Modern Nonprofit Podcast. I am here with my new friend James Mueller. James has recently written a book and it's going to talk all about the dysfunctions of nonprofit boards and more importantly, how to make it more functional. So, James, real quickly, tell us a little bit about your book, the title, maybe where people can find it.
Sure. It's called Onboarding Champions. It is the 7 recruiting principles. If I can just put it up here, onboarding
Absolutely.
champion, onboarding champions, the 7 recruiting principles of highly effective nonprofit boards. You can find it at Amazon, at Borders. It's on all the libraries for all of the e-publications as well.
Love that. So I love talking about boards, and I found in my experience, I've worked with hundreds, if not maybe thousands at this point, nonprofits over my career. And it seems like the strength of the nonprofit really is driven by the leadership, which in every case
Hmm.
includes the board. So I'm excited to
Right.
dive into this topic a little bit more. So, first things first, we hear a lot of buzzwords lately about creating boards that are both strong in diversity, equity, and representative of the constituents that they serve, right? Whether it's the
Hmm.
clients or the staffing and those sort of things. So, tell us some of the greatest challenges when it comes to nonprofits and getting to that ideal board, not just from a
Yeah.
skill standpoint, but at all the other demographics that we hope to find.
Yeah. Well, recruitment is an area where most boards are least prepared, or
Hmm.
probably even better said, prepare the least, right?
Hmm.
So when they interviewed about diversity and equity, they often say, well, we don't have any viable diverse applicant pool to pull from.
Hmm.
But I find that the problem lies in really not knowing how to do the right homework to achieve diversity and equity. And so in chapter 5 of my book, I go into this in great detail, but for instance, it's not thinking through the characteristics beyond business acumen. Who do you need on your board? What
Hmm.
competencies? Deliberative thinkers, good communicators, governance experience, people
Hmm.
with governance experience, creativity. I love a sense of humor, character, competence, connections. And so creating that profile of what you're looking for, including the characteristics of diversity and inclusion that you want to include in your profile. But working from a
Hmm.
profile, then you know what you're looking for. But one of the
Hmm.
other barriers is enculturation. We don't connect with those who are different in our culture. We tend,
Hmm.
tend to go
Hmm.
into tribes, right? We may be tribes where people look different, but they have the same values, they have the same perspectives, and they share the same things. So uh, the challenge to boards is to create diversity, is for board members to step outside their comfort zone and to know what they're looking for, and maybe go visit places they don't usually visit, go to lunch at a
Hmm.
place that they don't usually go to lunch in, go to a different part of
Hmm.
town. And so it's really breaking out of our enculturation to connect to others that may not be in the same place as we are day to day.
I love that. And I would take that a step further too, not just from it's one of the things that I've learned. It's not just from a board recruiting standpoint, but also staff recruiting, right? So go to
Right.
places that you may not have historically gone to, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.